Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 639 for the week of Monday, July 14th, 2025. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
Toby.
Lane.
And Charlie.
It is
Applause.
a super filled podcast of everyone here to have their it's a gang at the podcast.
It's a
gang.
true Super Friends gathering.
It's a
Comic Conspiracy Gang.
It is. Hey Charlie, welcome back to the podcast.
Oh,
It's been a while.
I figured Superman might drag you back here.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Like a lot of things, there's tons of ups and downs, but
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I expect this will be an entire Superman podcast. So, if you're here to hear all the latest news about Diamond, I've stopped even bothering recapping, like looking at it because I'm like, it doesn't matter anymore. So, it'll matter once the new company takes over. So, yeah, no sales charts or anything. Toby, I'm sorry. This is gonna be all Superman talk.
Fuck the show.
Yeah. We're gonna do what we do a lot of podcasts here, where we're gonna do a little non-spoiler talk here for Superman, give you some of our kind of broader overall thoughts. No spoilers, in case you haven't seen it. But then we'll the rest of the podcast.
What's the goal that we gotta beat? 2 hours and 9 minutes?
2 hours and 9 minutes, Toby.
Is it actually 2 hours and 9 minutes?
Yes. I always check.
I took that number out of my ass.
No. I'm good.
What do you mean you're good?
We'll go as long as we go.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes at minimum.
Using Google's amazing random number generator between the six of us that are on this podcast in introduction order, it'd be myself, Brock, Kevin. What is it? Myself, Brock, Kevin. What was that?
Toby Lane.
Was that Toby Lane, Charlie?
Yes.
The internet has decided number 3 starts. So that's Kevin.
Oh shit!
I'm curious because I received a very cryptic message from Kevin, and I don't know. The internet has decided that this is how we're starting this podcast. So
I don't know if you want. I don't know if you
something-
want me going first, but I'll go.
That's
first.
okay.
Let's go.
The internet has decided.
Do
The
it.
great Google has decided,
Okay.
and it's funny because of a conversation we had pre-recording about Fantastic Four. So
Yes.
maybe related. So let's
Good call.
start
chat.
with Kevin here. Kevin, no spoilers,
No spoilers.
but you saw Superman today, correct?
Today, yes, and I'm
Okay.
glad we are recording it now because I have a very different reaction now than when I walked out of the theater.
Okay.
So I will say, let me start with the positives.
Oh, come on. What about the first thought you had out of the theater? Because that's the most honest.
Do you want me to? My first thought out of the theater was a pretty firm thumbs down. I'm now pretty much a thumbs in the middle.
Interesting.
I like the lead 3 actors. I thought were Lex, Lois, and Superman.
Mhm.
Mr. Terrific, a character I don't really care about in the comics, quite good. That opening sequence that we saw in the teaser, you remember where the Crypto pulls him to the fortress and the robots heal him? Yeah. I saw that as a teaser because I didn't know what that was when it dropped, so I ended up watching it. I liked it then. I liked seeing the longer version here. I thought the very last scene that led into the credits was also excellent and a great needle drop with that scene also.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one where they look at the wall, or is it the one where someone fetches an animal?
After the animal, the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my positives. And then my mixed reaction is everything that's in between what I just described, the first and last scenes. So we have so many people. I'll just make a couple more comments and then tag off to whoever's next. I think my 2 big negatives for right now are, one is that scene at and this is no spoiler because I think everybody at this point will have seen this. It's the very start of the movie where Superman crashes in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
and he's all beaten up. You saw that in the teaser also, I think, or in one of the trailers.
Yeah, it was an early thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there's a text on the screen at the beginning that says 3 minutes ago or whatever, Superman lost his first fight.
Yeah.
And then he crashes and it's like, oh, wow, holy shit, we've never seen this before. Wow, that's intense. And then they proceed to hit that same note for the next 2 hours to the point where I was just like numb. I'm like, could we see him kicking ass instead? That would be a nice change. It was just monotonous. You could call this Superman gets his ass kicked, the motion picture, and be fine. And that's what it is. I think, though, even beyond that, my biggest...
I usually don't laugh at Brock, but I wish that was a real tagline there.
Yeah. Well, I think my biggest disappointment, though, is that it just did not feel like a coherent story. It felt like a bunch of Superman comics all just jammed together. Here's the one with 2 countries going to war that nobody's ever heard of. Here's the one with the kaiju. Here's the one guest star in the Justice League. Here's the one with, I don't want to keep going with spoilers, but it's just like lurching all around. The tone is all over the place. There's no narrative flow to it. The actors were good. There were some good moments throughout the movie, but overall, man, this is like, I didn't find this to be any better or worse than the Flash movie. This just seems like another DC, like a continuation of the previous DC. Like, I think my expectation was too high, and I was definitely disappointed.
Huh.
Tagging off to the next person.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Well, and I do want to. We can bring up the FF thing later, but yeah, I do want to come back to that as we kind of wrap up. So don't forget your pre podcast comment, because it's something I do want to talk about. Yeah.
I definitely will not forget.
Yeah. Is it Toby next?
Toby's next.
Yeah.
Toby, who saw it twice, or did he?
Yeah. So full disclosure, I know all these people are making fun of me for falling asleep. I watched 99.9% of the movie the first time around. The only thing I missed was the second part of the message of the parents. Somehow I missed that. I blacked out for that, and then I was like, something happened there. Yeah, that's the only thing I missed.
Not really. It's all right.
Yeah. And then, to be a semi-okay podcaster, I was like, let me do some homework. Let me watch it again, because I tend to need to watch this. So when I watch movies, I need to watch it a second time to be more relaxed and be less judgmental. So I decided to go to this 10:15 screening last night. And I think I watched 0.1% of the movie, and it's not the 0.1 that I missed the first time around. So
you still missed it?
Yeah. I still missed the same part. Yeah.
Okay.
Really annoying. Yeah. So I'll have to go a third time. There's a guy named Brian Higgins who decided to send a bunch of false rumors out into the world saying that I hated the movie.
Huh?
Yeah. And you absolutely. I came into the
I didn't see you
hated Superman. You told it the whole story. Not only you, this other guy named Charles, who I play basketball with, also decided to tell everybody that I hated that movie. It is not at all what I said. All I said was, and this is respect to Mr. Gunn and the actors, it is not my favorite Superman movie, nor is David my favorite Superman. That's all I said. I didn't say I disliked it. I just said those are not my favorites. That's it. I have things to say, but I think that's more in the spoiler territory. I do want to say it feels like an episode of this Justice League Unlimited. So it's like opening a comic book and they throw you right into the world, which will be interesting to see what all the normals think of it. I'm really curious.
We know what the normals think of it.
Do we?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I'm curious. Anyways, onwards, because I think everything I have to say is nitpicky, or not nitpicky, but spoiler territory. Well, because
you hated it. Got it. Excellent. Okay.
See, where is this coming from?
You are mixed on it. You are mixed.
I have the same problem that you have that we can talk about later.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
you are mixed on it.
I guess so.
Okay.
So. But since I'm mixed on it, or in some person's views, I didn't like it. Therefore,
you tell me. Did you like it or not? Yes, liked it, didn't, or like Kevin, kind of sideways. Kind of thumb sideways.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, still thumb sideways. Okay.
I'm in the middle.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lane's turn.
Okay. Yeah, Lane.
Oh,
What did you see, Lane? Did you go with Toby?
Yeah, I was
and
with,
Charlie?
I was with Toby and Charlie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
fucking love Crypto though.
Of course you did. You like all the animals.
Yeah.
I'm not, at least not negative, Toby. But
I didn't say I didn't like it. Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. Unlike what Kevin was saying, I actually kind of like that he was kind of not the hero. Like he was getting beat up. Like it felt different and not just like he's invincible. And that's kind of what I always hated about the other Superman stuff in general. Like not specific anything, just in general. So I really liked it. Yeah, the actors did an amazing job for the most part. I feel a few were a little weird, but I'm not. That'll be later for nitpicky stuff. And overall, the story was just. Yeah, I will say the story was a little wishy-washy at places. Things didn't quite connect. But when it comes to like the overall feel of Superman and the message that Gunn's trying to convey about Superman, I think was spot on and kind of what we needed for this reboot. And I'm kind of excited to see, where it goes from here because yeah, it's a great jumping on point for all the new stuff, and it didn't kind of like baby you all the way through, which is nice. I'm more curious to see if Ryan hated all the humor.
No, he didn't because it's a DC movie.
He still hates humor. Doesn't
DC movie. All rules go out the window.
okay.
I think we got someone first. Lane with the most positive review so far? That's unusual.
Well, I'll get to the nitpicks later.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But mostly liked it.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what else is coming.
Big C. What you got? I have no clue what Charlie thinks.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him. I have no idea.
So I find this movie fascinating in a way because similar to like Toby said, I literally see this as you pick up a random issue of Superman, especially during the like Triangle era, and you hand it to them, and that's their jumping on point to comics kind of thing. That's kind of how I see this movie, where with the way that it sort of starts out and such, like this feels like you're just kind of jumping into an already in progress story like you would picking up a random comic where they're not going to spend time really telling you who everybody is and that kind of stuff. And that is definitely a plus for me in this because I don't need a who's this, but it is a very different way of.
Gunn's already said he's like this is just what we're gonna do. I don't want to. He's like I don't want to see the Batman pearls. I don't want to see.
I get the fact that you don't see the Batman pearls. I get the fact that you don't see baby Kal-El in a rocket. Yeah. But I don't really feel like it slows down to really establish like Jimmy or like any of the people who appeared in this movie.
They explain the new people.
Yeah.
And they expect who Jimmy Olsen is.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I don't know.
And
that's what the internet's for.
And that's fine because it does sort of remind me of when they when they introduced Michonne and The Walking Dead, people who didn't want to wait for the show to answer it would just Google it. And that kind of thing. And that works in this day and age. Like,
of course.
Information's at your fingertips. But it is something that I was curious coming out of it, like how many people were Googling more information about Guy Gardner or various other people and stuff who appeared in the movie. All in all, I really liked the movie. I did not have a single scene where I was watching it that felt like I never had that instance of, I don't feel like Superman would do that, or I don't feel like Pa Kent would do, like, everything felt true to the characters. The only character I have an issue with is Lex, and that's just because I like Lex to take longer to, like, if you think about all the schemes and stuff he gets away with in the comics before in this era, when you're talking like Triangle era and stuff, it takes a long time. Lex became president before he kind of fell from, like, I have no problem with Lex being thwarted. I have a problem with Lex being thwarted in such an extreme way that he hasn't insulated himself enough. Because my brain kind of goes back to Superman the Animated Series, where Superman just shows up at Lex's office to let him know he's watching him, because he can't prove anything, but he knows he was behind it. Like, that is
Right.
the kind of Lex that I would love to see in the movies, but it also goes against that. The good guys got to distinctly win in the movies.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I assume they're looking at this as like, man, if this movie tanks and it's just one movie, well, we still have to have an ending, right? That's a problem. The post credit scenes and I think some of the other Marvel and DC movies have made recently.
But
I have a lot to say.
that would be my only thing, is just like, I would love it if Lex had a little more oomph to his plan, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Me. Yeah. I guess maybe my expectations were low when I went in, because I was a little concerned. Some of the stuff in the trailer got me a little nervous. Comedy's tough, as stated. I'm, say 75-25 for gun movies, right? I mean, gun projects. So I was hopeful, but, people, Thor Ragnarok was one of the best reviewed Marvel movies, both from critics and the audience. And I don't like that movie at all. So, there's always that fear of, especially once the reviews started rolling in, I was like, okay, well, critics are wrong. Audiences are wrong sometimes. I'm going to go in. I have my concerns, but I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm just going to go in, and I kind of, I'm not saying I've given up caring, but it's easier when you just, we talk about it obviously here, and I talk about it at the shop all the time with customers, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get back to, the height of, fandom. You do eventually kind of, you've seen it all, you've done it all. You kind of, well, other people, this is something for other people now. So all that to say, I loved the movie. I thought it was excellent. Well, it's the comedy thing off the top, because that's exactly the criticism I expected. I have been nothing but consistent on this point forever. Comedy is tough. Bad comedy is bad. When comedy interrupts serious moments constantly throughout the course of a movie or a show, I don't like it. Case in point from James Gunn himself. We talked about Creature Commandos on here. How much I hated half of that show. I really disliked that show. There was good moments in it, but so much of that show was undercut by terrible, terrible comedy. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2, same thing. Notoriously, how much I dislike that movie. It's just, compare that to Guardians 1 or Peacemaker, which is overfilled with comedy, but there is incredibly serious moments. And I put something like this on Blue Sky. Like, Gunn's kind of got that secret sauce with characters where he knows that you've got to make some real interesting flaws in them to make the audience care. And a lot of superheroes are can be a little flat, just because, just the way they were always written. And Superman is tough because you could do whatever you want to basically anyone else in the movie, but you can't mess around with Superman too much. I don't want Superman to be Star-Lord. Yeah, these are all my biggest concerns going in, and I don't think any of them, I think he did just about a perfect job as you could. It's fun, it's modern, it's accessible, but it still has the references and throwbacks and feeling of opening up that random issue of a Superman comic for the first time, and you're just thrown into the story. And I think that's positive, not a negative. it's funny, Kevin, you said, oh, I don't see the difference between this and Flash and some of the other movies. And I mean, I also don't totally disagree, but only I think, I'm not saying you, but I think a lot of people they're way too negative on some of the movies that have been out over the last couple of years, and then way too positive on other movies that aren't as good. So I think everything kind of is a little more middle of the road. And I don't get the hate for a lot of them, but I also don't get the love for others. So, it's good that audiences, in my mind, are clicking with this, because I think it's, for me, it does what the movie needed to do for a general audience, and it did what it needed to do for a super fan, like I was gonna say like us, but maybe not us, but at least for me, it gave me enough fun, cool stuff to kind of sink my teeth into. Then I have to, it's not just a random useless cameo in the background, right? I mean, Guy Gardner is Guy Gardner in this movie. Like, he's not going to show up for 1/2 a second. Like, he's in a, not insignificant part of the movie. Comic fan in me, and I know, and Toby kind of highlighted that, has one problem, like one significant problem. That doesn't mean I don't like the movie, but we will talk about that in the spoiler talk. But yeah, movie fan, A+, comic fan, an A with a giant asterisk, because I want to see what they do going forward.
New Avengers.
What's your thoughts? Huh?
Asterisk New Avengers?
Yeah, no. I said good. Not terrible. Not bad jokes. Close this up, Brock.
So I went with my 2 kids and my niece. We went Thursday night, and I surprised them with going. They didn't know beforehand. And I sat down and watched this movie with them. And I think what we've talked about in the past with some of the comic book stuff, it's not necessarily aimed at us anymore. My kids and my niece loved it. They had fun watching it. They enjoyed it. It was a roller coaster ride for them. And they had fun. And that was great to be a part of. For me watching it, there's one point I was watching the movie and I was like, oh no, Kevin Sharp's gonna hate this. There was part of me that was like, I enjoyed some of it, and there's part of me that didn't enjoy some of it. Kevin, you hit it completely on the nail with, this is piecemeal Superman stories put together to make a preview comic movie for people. I did not understand. There's a few things in it we'll get later that I was specifically like, what? Why did you even bring that up? And it's never followed through with. Overall, it was entertaining. Is it my favorite Superman movie? No. Did the actors do a good job? Yeah, for what they had. Is the movie a funny example of everything that has come to pass before in comic book movies? Yeah. But overall, it was okay. Like, I'd like to watch it again, but I'm not. It's not like, oh my god, I need to watch it again. If that makes any sense. So, yeah,
it's kind of middle,
yeah,
like Kevin and
it's
Toby.
kind of middle. I think I'm. We'll get into the nuts and bolts in a little bit, but I think for me overall, It was just. It was trying to do something, and I think what it was trying to do, they most likely succeeded with. But as a person, like, for my level, it just wasn't. It could have been something that was better. But yeah, you only get so much. So.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like this is like one of the most comic book movies ever made.
But it's a preview comic.
And the complaints have been mostly that it's too comic booky for the comic book fans, but normal people really like it. So that's kind of an odd opinion, an odd result here. I mean, I don't know if we're typical of most regular comic book fans' opinions. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll be curious once I talk to more people on Wednesday.
Ryan, can I follow up on one thing you said about the expectations? And
well, let's do a couple more minutes, and then we'll go into full spoilers.
So the example the other example I would give was when David Gordon Green and Danny McBride rebooted Halloween a few years ago. And so their whole point on Danny McBride wasn't in it. He co-wrote it. Their whole point on the press tour was ignore everything that's since the original John Carpenter 1978 movie. Like none of those sequels ever happened. We're picking up from there. We're going straight after that. And I'm like, oh, right on. I'm excited because that first Halloween is a masterpiece. And I'm like, you've got me. I'm there. I went opening night to that movie. I was so excited to see this. And it was just another shitty Halloween sequel. And I'm like, what the hell did you even talk it up all that for? So I wouldn't call this movie shitty by any stretch. But my point is, all the talk was, this is a brand new DC that, it's a new dawn. We're resetting. The old stuff's over. It's done. Moving on. Resetting freshens. I let my expectations creep up again. And I went in, it's like, well, this is just like the old DC. Now, some of the other movies in the old DC are bad, granted. I'm not saying this is on that level, but I'm saying this to me wasn't dramatically different from the old DC. And therefore, based on kind of how I had let myself get in the mindset going in, I found it a letdown on that front.
Well, what's funny is I think, Man of Steel would be the dramatically different movie.
Yes.
And people rejected it.
Yeah.
So this is, they maybe tried to pivot towards that way as the DC movies went on, but it just, whether it's just tonal whiplash or quality, or people just said, well, I didn't like Man of Steel and BVS and Suicide Squad, so I'm out. I don't care about any of these,
Well, it almost feels like the Zack Snyder Man of Steel. We don't need to relitigate this movie, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he felt like he was filming the Bible. It was so serious. And it was like, this is great literature. It's like, what are you doing? And this feels like an overcorrection. It feels like it swung, for my taste. Everybody else disagree. That's fine. I'm just saying,
I think
it swung too far.
I think I'm with you, Kevin, because I think for me, even though I actually enjoyed Man of Steel, there's certain things I didn't like, but for the most part, I really like it as a modern Superman. And I feel like this one swung the other way a little too much. I almost want something in the middle.
Yes.
Well, Aquaman and Shazam would fit perfectly in this world.
Yes.
Those two movies, right?
Well, even Wonder Woman to a point. Like the first one.
Wonder Woman, I agree. Yeah. I think Wonder Woman would fit in here
84
too.
We could just forget, but
Yeah, well, but I'm talking about that first batch of movies. So, tonally, and Aquaman did well, but not well enough. If Aquaman and Wonder Woman, you can blame some of it on COVID, but if Aquaman and Wonder Woman worked as well as it seemed that they did, the sequels would have done way better. The drop in box office between Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Joker to their sequels is like that's beyond people's reactions to like current previews. I don't think people like those movies as much as they made that sort of money. So I think DC needed to kind of get away from everything and as as short of a window of the reboot is, at least come out and say publicly, like, this is a completely different thing. We are starting here. Because if this was just another Superman movie without that sort of, that tag of this is all new, all different. I don't think people would have shown up.
Remember, they changed the name.
Even if the reviews are well.
They changed the name.
Yeah. Just
they
Superman.
cut Legacy off and put just Superman. So this is technically Superman 25. Like, just like Superman 78.
No, that makes sense.
There's I think there's something from this movie that completely is that overcorrection to like example. And I think that, again, we've talked in the past about like origins and all of this stuff and setting up stuff and all this. And in like what I found was piecemeal about this movie in, you know, like Kevin brought up the 3 things, but there were a few more. You know, the movie does entertain, but it still feels like there's something stopping this movie from being what it could have been. Like a lot of Warner Brother movies when it comes to like superheroes, after a certain point, it's just like something is stopping this movie or making this movie not work right.
I don't know. I actually look. I actually think this is a good new start to a new DCU. I actually think it's a great start. I think it's people are happy. It's positive. This is the new beginning. I'm all for it. I have no problem with any of that stuff. So I just, for me personally, I wanted something else, but I have no problem with the movie at all. Actually,
Well, isn't Peacemaker the start to this one?
no,
That's not a
Well,
movie.
I mean,
Like-
they retconned. Well, the first new production was Creature Commandos, but they grandfathered in the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
And that's the thing,
with
right?
minor, basically anything gun touched, they grandfathered in.
Yeah, but that's again saying Superman is the start of it. You can't. I mean,
it is. If there's one thing I can say that this movie did very well, is it set up a lot of things that I know are getting picked up in other things.
Star Wars is going to be. I'm sorry, Superman's going to be what Star Wars Legacy, and the pre-Disney stuff is going to be. If Disney says it counts, it counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So James Gunn and DC are saying, yes, Peacemaker counts, except for that final scene where the Justice League show up, because that's not the Justice League. The Justice League doesn't exist.
they're just going to superimpose the Justice Gang over all of them, and we'll just get like Anakin in return.
So, they will pick and choose what they want, but going forward, Superman and Creature Commandos and Peacemaker,
but
and Supergirl, and
I guess there felt like there was connectivity in this movie to everything currently in production, which is,
I would agree,
definitely kind of a good thing, but it also, to a degree, makes me go, they're banking a lot on that interconnectivity, which is something that DC historically, I would say, for a long time, one of the complaints was there was no interconnectivity. Like Man of Steel, I remember.
Well, the difference
came out of being like, okay, yeah, there was a Wayne satellite, but where's the connectivity to the greater and that kind of stuff? So I kind of feel like a lot of this stuff feels like this is a fully formed world that Superman's in versus we're making a Superman movie that happens to be in this world where we can.
Here's the difference, and we will now, this is spoiler talk, so this is your warning. I'm not going to immediately spoil something right now, but we're going to get dangerously close to spoiler talk, so let's start that now. If you've not seen Superman, go watch it. This is your time to jettison the podcast. I've given you guys a couple seconds, so hopefully you guys are out of here. Again, no immediate spoiler, but spoilers and out free and clear. I think the difference there, Charlie, right? What so many of the movies had done and the TV shows had done, they had teased upcoming stuff in like a post-credit scene, like this was going to continue directly in. Just having Supergirl show up very briefly is not we know that she's going to have a show or have a movie. We know Green Lantern's going to be in a TV show, but if you don't know, you're not like, ooh, what is this leading to? None of those scenes make you think like, this is directly leading to something. And I think that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Gunn said he's not going to do post-credit scenes. And that, when it works, it's great. But when it
remember, he had a post-credit scene.
You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. Those post-credit scenes became the biggest flaw of the Marvel Universe because you're now having to have four or five movies all with things that are going to lead into other things. And when Kang is no longer in a movie, suddenly these post-credit scenes don't work. DC was ripe with this. They tried so many times, and all those post-credit scenes, Sinestro, don't even get me started on Mr. Mind, okay? Like, don't even get me started. They led to nothing, right? So if you want, so the movies have to, that's been my complaint for so long. The movie has to work in and of itself complete. And if those characters appear somewhere else, great. But the movie must be its own thing. And that to me is the difference here.
But, and again, this is something that I don't actually consider a negative, but I do kind of want to at least spotlight a little bit of, as much media as I've seen about Superman, I've seen just as many of Nathan Fillion talking about the Green Lantern series, and like you can already see the marketing machine talking about where their next appearance is going to be and that stuff.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
No, I'm just saying that they are in a very good way, but I am curious to see if it pays off. They have dropped you into the DC universe, meaning every single character is fair game to other projects.
Well, it was.
I like
probably
that.
Batman, but
Well,
but
it was. I think it goes back to. I mean, we're spoiling, so the John Cena Peacemaker cameo in the movie, like it was dropped in a good spot where it needed to be, right? Like it felt natural, it didn't feel forced, right? So you could go Peacemaker, who's that? Oh wait, there's a TV show. I can go watch the TV show.
Funny enough, that got one of the biggest reactions in our crowd.
Yeah, because that's the thing is people in the know are like, oh wow, cool, you're adding this, and people are like, what is this? Can be enticed to it, right? This is one of the things that I found. Yes, this worked in this film, especially with that whole comic book like movie, because I remember coming back into comic books and reading all of this stuff and being like, reading the New 52 and going, who the fuck is this? I'm curious now. And like I had that curiosity going forward. So I think Superman 25 grasped that enough, and that if they keep that going, it's potential to be very, very good for DC going forward with Warner Brothers and all the comic book movies. So there's a positive in that aspect. Like even the Maxwell Lord one was great.
And for me, that's a large part of the reason why I equate this to the Triangle Era, Superman, and that stuff. Is just one issue would have Guy Gardner in it, another issue would have the whole JLA at the time in it, another issue would have Wave Rider, another issue, and a lot of people didn't get introduced with everything that came before and everything that came after when they picked up those issues. And I really find this fascinating in the way that, like, this is the closest I've ever seen a movie deliver that experience.
Yeah.
And I like that because the one thing that I remember always being excited about when it came to my early days in comic books is that I really like this character. Let me go track down more stuff I can get with them in it and so on.
Yeah.
Like, it was very easy to just jump in and figure out what was exciting you that you wanted more of and what were you not going to bother with.
They gave us enough editor's notes without editor notes.
Yes.
But it goes back to what Kevin said, and I still have a problem with, is this feels like a slapped together story of Superman moments in comics to make this. Comics and movies and all that. Like it's like an amalgam of previews. And so that's where I kind of lost, at least story-wise in this. Because I feel it was...
I mean...
It was...
I don't see that. You have the Superman is living his life and events are happening, but it is sort of like time skipping a little bit. I don't need the giant fight between the Justice League and Mixoplex or whatever exactly that was going on in that scene. It's unclear what that was supposed to be, but you said dimensional imp, so I'll say Mixoplex. But that is just like a fun background thing while there's like a serious moment happening with Superman, which is fine. But all the plots link together. I mean, there's Lex has a lot of moving parts, and we don't see everything formed. It's just like, yeah, sure, you made a pocket dimension, great. That's a thing Lex Luthor would totally do in a comic. Like, so
I think it works better as
I'm not on board with that
as a TV series. This exact thing as a TV series, I would like significantly better.
So, I know I keep harping back to older comics, but that's part of how this feels to me. Is it's the equivalent of reading all 4 Superman titles at the time with different writers, and that, like, you can have a sort of throughput from each comic to the next, but each one kind of has their own chapter beat, or similar to with multiple Spider-Man titles and that kind of stuff. Like, a lot happens because this issue was covering this part of the story. This issue is covering this part of the story. Like, if you think about it, the pocket dimension is an issue. This is an issue. And you're just sort of following the throughput from each issue to the next.
I think it works in context of, like, you're talking about an era of comics, but from watching this, like, I kept seeing, like, when Lois was doing her stuff, it was like, and she's going to save Superman. I'm like, this is the Adventures of Superman stuff. This is all in those covers I used to see. Like this is partially something that would come out of All-Star Superman. This is something that would come out of this story arc. Like, completely different stories, like, over multiple eras, not kind of condensed in one. That's where I was having issues with some of the story beats. Like, fucking JLA Earth 2 was sitting right there in front. And the second, like, that was the reveal, I was like, Kevin hates this movie.
What?
Huh?
The Earth 2?
What movie did you watch? Earth 2.
Ultraman.
Are you talking about the Grant Morrison?
Yeah. Are you talking about Bizarro?
No, I'm talking about Ultraman. Like, that is literally JLA, the JLA version. Earth 2 one.
You mean Bizarro?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, before we even go down there, Ryan, Charlie, your comparison about the triangle or the different titles, I agree 100% with what you said, but to me, it's a criticism, not a compliment. Well, I agree with exactly what you said. For a movie, I mean, a movie.
But that for me is the thing I find fascinating about this is I don't know if, from what the reviews look like, it seems like people were on board for this storytelling. For me,
it's ADHD
I happen to be reading.
Yeah,
I happen to have been reading some of this, not era of Superman, but this era of comics. So my brain was already kind of, I'm getting the movie equivalent of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe that made me a little predisposed to enjoy this type of storytelling, but it's also something that I walked out of there going like, I really don't know if people who aren't used to this type of storytelling are going to love this or hate this.
Right. Well, we got our answer, right?
Yeah.
That's so, I don't see that at all. That is so weird. It just seemed like a normal movie to me. Like, there was a lot going on, but
see, your interpretation of Ultraman was a Bizarro, which, yes, I could view it as you're going down the clone aspect.
Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm done. You, Ryan, take over on this.
Ultraman is the evil Superman from Earth 3. Was a post Earth 3 post Crisis. There was a Grant Morrison when they reintroduced the concept of the
Injustice game,
Crime Syndicate.
Crime Syndicate.
Is it Earth 2 or Earth 3?
That graphic novel, the post Crisis, that one is called Earth 2, right? But they. I mean, it's an old, but the Earth 3, you said Injustice, and it's like Crime Syndicate. It just totally got stuck in my brain. They unretconned all that stuff. So while that's a great, one of the best Morrison comics ever, that is Ultraman from Earth 3. However, that's not who this was. This was Bizarro.
Well, again, it was Bizarro in that outfit. Bizarro with that title. Like,
they call him Ultraman, but it's not Ultraman. It's not Ultraman.
I know, but it's that's
it's not Superman from Earth 3. It's this is the post-crisis.
But the second they reveal, the second I was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, oh, it's a doppelganger. Kevin hates this.
yeah. This is the.
It's the doppel. It's literally the same person.
Yes, like
that's the ultimate doppelganger.
Yeah. I mean, I said this prior. I was like, I assume Ultraman is Bizarro, right? It's a clone. I mean, I said this on the podcast. I've said this multiple times. So, like, not a huge shock who it was, but yeah, it was Bizarro. The post-crisis version of Bizarro is
more Connor Kent than Bizarro. All Lex has to do is add a little bit of his DNA, and it becomes Connor Kent. Like
that could be the next movie. That could be the next movie,
right? Like, it's not officially Bizarro.
Post-crisis.
So back to
while Bizarro. Toby, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up and finish my sentence.
No.
Toby, shut the fuck up. Post-crisis Bizarro, while the Bizarro world Bizarro still does exist again, the post-crisis, really New 52 Bizarro, but the post-crisis Bizarro is an imperfect clone made by Lex Luthor of Superman. So this is Bizarro, not Ultra. He calls him Ultraman, but the reveal is that it's actually Bizarro. So done. Go ahead.
Ryan, what was your giant asterisk, by the way, when you said
yes.
A with an asterisk?
This is me and Toby. So my one, and it's a pretty big complaint as a comic book fan. As presented in the movie, no problem. It 100% works. The comic person in me hates that the L's are bad guys. I don't like that. Now, there's things they can do with this. That's Toby's second half of the message, right? That Clark was, well, fuck, the planet's gonna blow up, but we could send you there to rule, to have a harem, blah blah blah. Let's go.
Secret harem.
Within the context of the movie, it works perfectly fine, right? It's one of the most motivating parts of his character arc, especially at the end, which you like, Kevin. But to me, I don't like that. I don't like what that sets up for the future of those characters, his lineage, and Krypton in the greater DC universe. In this world, there's all sorts of ways out. Of course, it was Lex and the engineer that got it, so of course they could have, Mr. Terrific says it wasn't, but of course it could be wrong, could be misinterpreted. The engineer could have, not been able to translate stuff properly when she was figuring out, so it came out wrong
right before they started doing all that negative stuff. So they could have left something out like, son, we don't want you doing things like this, and then they explain
exactly. There could be that. It could be Brainiac. While Brainiac was destroying Krypton, he like messes up this message when it gets sent out. He's corrupting all the computers. Like, there's a million ways they could undo this. I think you still would get the same message across, even if the L's were just like, kind of more like Superman, the original movie, where like, we are sending you to this planet. You will have incredible power. You could rule them if you wanted to, right? But, if they were more cold, but being straight like bad guys really rubs me the wrong way. So personally, I'm going with, this is a plot point that is unfinished, that can easily come back.
Except
I'm not considering this.
It could have been undone in the course of this movie.
But then it takes away from the end.
Yeah,
right.
I know. I like the end. I like the end, but I'm saying I've now read. I've been on a total social media and online blackout about this, and I've seen now after today your complaint echoed in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And so I can say these two things are equally true. I like how this movie ended, and also you could have gotten out of that cul-de-sac in the course of this movie without having it hanging.
Maybe. I think it would have not rung as true but I think there's another motivating factor. I've seen a few people theorize now that, well, Supergirl's appearance at the end. Okay, why is she going out and getting drunk and doing all this stuff? Well, maybe this is the case. She grew up on Krypton. She knows why they were sent there. That the Kryptonians were these like evil rulers, and now they're on this peaceful planet, or mostly peaceful planet, and they're like, we don't want to rule. So she's out there as this 20-year-old being like, I'm very conflicted about the life I've sort of been forced into.
I mean, or it could just be her normal origin of you're older than your cousin and then you're not. Right.
Well, sure. There is, but I think it's an interesting plot that could still come up. Right. I don't love that, but I'm willing to see where they go with it. I think there's ways out of it pretty easily that doesn't, like Kevin said, doesn't affect, how he interacts with Mom, Pa, Kent. But I think it was a great ending. It was a fantastic ending. It's very humanizing. It's the whole point of the movie. Yeah. It's a very humanizing
I think
story.
One of the things is,
but it does. I don't like those characters being turned into straight villains.
You mean Invincible?
Well, because I mean it's a story we've seen. Superman being the bad guy is DC alternate universe story number one, right? That is it's a really simple story. So this is that story where he doesn't turn bad, which is again great. But we've seen this trope a lot, and I don't need that in this. I would like that to be not rolled back, but there is a reasoning why this isn't closed. This isn't closed. That's in my mind.
Well, it's not closed as long as it, I think, sits within the Superman movie's spirit. If this spills over into like Supergirl, then you're running the risk of having things that, again, this is going to affect this movie and this is going to affect this movie, where we kind of would like everything to be a little bit separate.
You can very easily have a Supergirl movie where she's out there doing this stuff, right, trying to save that girl, and this plot comes up of like, you're one of the last Kryptonians. We thought you were all dead. The universe was saved from the and look, Krypton has a history of, in the comics, of being this like race that went out and not conquered the universe, but went all over, and then they
like Viltrumites.
But then returned back to Krypton, right? So
it's like Krypton still like that's what Zod's character is, right? Like Zod's character represents kind of that like that colonizer mentality.
Or what if that's Zod and Ursa, right? You get Bradley Cooper and what's her name from the what's her name? The hell's her name?
Clementine.
Yeah, Clementine. You get Clementine from Westworld as a 1-second cameo to never be seen again. It's like, look, I don't want to go straight to Zod. Trust me, give me anyone but Zod and Luthor again. Like,
maybe this is something from the Phantom Zone. Like they actually got a message out, and they're trying to manipulate Superman.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of ways out of this, and I'm okay with that.
You know what? The part I didn't buy after that is that the world turns on Superman in like 10 seconds because this video plays. It's like, what?
Kevin, they explain that in the pocket dimension. There are monkeys that are trolling.
Right.
Okay? It's the monkeys that are trolling.
It's like, you people have known this guy for how many years did they say he's been there?
It's like 3 years, 4 years, yeah.
And all of a sudden there's this video with two strangers no one's ever seen before, speaking a language nobody knows, and this translation is supposedly this, therefore Superman's a villain. We all hate him. People are throwing garbage at him, whatever. I just didn't buy that at all. And there's a stretch of the movie there where I really checked out, because it's like, they have a warrant for my arrest. I'm going to go turn myself in. And then we're back to Man of Steel. Here's Superman in handcuffs. Like, I don't want to see this.
I know. I mean, he did that intentionally to get crypto.
I get that. I'm saying I do not want Superman to be seen as the enemy of the world, the enemy of the government. Like, we've done that take on it. I'm just tired of it. So I really checked out for a stretch of the movie there, just mentally, and I was just kind of watching passively.
So really funny. My friend completely unprompted. He just saw Superman. He texted me. He said, "Great movie, really humanized him. Great universe building, but I didn't like that they left the message of his parents as authentic." Literally, just texted me as we're in the middle of recording. So yes,
Well,
yes.
I think it's something where the awkwardness that I get from like all of this kind of patchwork of Superman stories is that he's supposed to be on Earth for a while, but he's also feels like he's new at this, but not like it's this weird kind of it's this weird kind of like where is this Superman, like where is he supposed to be?
I have no problem,
right? Like
I have no problem with a younger Superman who hasn't been out
like
for
the New 52,
a long
like
time.
I get the like that again. Back to Grant Morrison. That Grant Morrison early stuff. He's gonna make mistakes. Like there's that part to it, but
yeah, the world shouldn't at this point. I'm okay with the world not like really trusting him.
Yeah, it's again. For the sake of the movie, I think it was rushed, but you know, it was the monkeys, so you know they were working tirelessly to make sure that hashtag super shit got trending or something.
Sure.
What I like to know is Lex Luthor is so smart he could create a pocket world, a pocket dimension, but he can't figure out who Superman is.
It's the hypno glasses.
Yeah. That's always been his problem. Superman cannot, Luthor's thing is always Superman cannot be. He's an alien. He's not a normal guy. Oh. Before we get too far into this, hold on. I want to actually talk about a bunch of the stuff I like. But there was one other thing. It's not a complaint, but I think it's a very interesting thing they did in this movie. And I wonder how much of it was intentional, or I wonder what they're going to do going forward. There's a character that is barely in this movie that actually really, really surprised me. He has almost no screen time. That's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Clark Kent is in this movie. Clark Kent is in this movie for a couple minutes in one scene.
Yeah, it was the All-Star Superman establishing that, he can be, so mouthy and all weird, and then he pops up like Christopher Reeves or Frank Whiteley's artwork. Like that was the only time he was introduced, really.
It's incredibly short, and I'm more okay with that because this is supposed to be kind of, we're in the middle of a story. There are moments where Kal-El is doing things as a regular human, but he is acting like he is not acting. He is not disguised as Clark Kent in that scene. He's not, having conversations, he's talking to Lois as Superman, but the human Clark Kent guy pops out very regularly during that conversation. That was an incredible scene. That whole argument back and forth on the interview and stuff, I thought was great. But the character who is Clark Kent with the glasses is barely in the movie. So that's interesting. We see a decent amount of Bruce Wayne in these movies. Again, it tends to not be the fake Bruce Wayne that's out on the town. It tends to be the
brooding,
Bruce Wayne outside of the suit talking to Alfred in a lot of recent movies. But, the fake Bruce Wayne, again, you don't see a lot of the fake Clark Kent in this. And I'm a little sad. I thought we'd see more of that because you guys can talk about whatever you want after this, but the Daily Planet, the entire staff was awesome. I loved every single person. I love Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen's the greatest man of action. I need a Jimmy Olsen movie tomorrow. Apparently there's like a Jimmy Olsen TV show that could be super fun. I don't know if I need it, but he was amazing. Crypto by far and away stole the show. Crypto's my favorite character in the entire movie 10 times over. I love every scene with Crypto. Crypto's amazing. Every single there's not a bad character. I think Mr. Terrific was great. Guy Gardner was perfect.
You haven't mentioned Metamorpho. What did you think?
No, I was going through the list. Metamorpho, that entire scene, all his scenes were awesome. Metamorpho was great. Hawkgirl, I liked. I kind of liked the scream.
Well,
I kind of actually liked the
That's
scream.
from the newer one. Like that
I mean, that's
It's
Kendra Sanders,
but
yeah,
it's more of the newer take on her that was the miniseries that they just did a year or two ago.
I mean, this is the Jeff Johns JSA post
but like
crisis Kendra
but
Sanders.
a lot of people are going to be aimed.
This isn't Shira.
A lot of people are going to be aimed though towards the newer one versus I think the John.
Nobody's reading that new miniseries.
Nobody's
fucking ass, dude.
People can like what people like.
Nobody likes that series. Yeah, I would have liked to seen a little bit more of Perry and Steve Lombardi. Great, that's really fun. He's a fun character. Cat Grant, really nice update on Cat Grant.
I respect that they kept the fucking cigar. Thank you for keeping the goddamn cigar with Perry White. Like,
they only name him. But I don't think he has a speaking line in it. Ron, is it Troop? I was pronounce his name Troop, right? Ron Troop, the other reporter guy that's there. He's in the ship with them at the end. They call him Ron, so that's who he is from the comics. But he's not. But I don't think they must have cut his line. He had
a cut off line, like he was about to say something and he gets cut off or something.
Yeah, I feel like there was maybe a couple moments with him that got cut or something like that. But that's like a big cast of the Daily Planet from those Triangle Era comics. So that's, it's and Superman and Lois and Clark, most of those characters are in there. So yeah, I mean, Gunn is pulling from stuff from, some of the heydays of our reading time. But yeah, no, like character wise, I don't know that there's any of the heroes that I didn't love. Not even just
fucking
like. I thought
Otis
they were all
was
perfect.
in this movie.
Apparently, his name in this movie, Otis Berg. Otis
Berg, yeah.
Berg.
Otis Berg.
Otis
yeah.
Berg.
I was like, fine.
I'm totally okay with him having another Otis. It's a different take on the character. This one seemed to actually do some good stuff. So, Miss Stassmacher was great. Very funny version of her. Totally.
Well, the modernized version of her. Like, I liked that it was a more modern take on that.
Yeah. No, every scene with Jimmy Olsen's amazing. Yeah, he was so good. Yeah, I really the parents' message is like probably the only thing that maybe just kind of go, I don't like that, but it's needed in the movie and it works for the movie. So take that out, take the movie or take the comic knowledge out, and it works perfectly fine. So yeah, I liked I had no complaints.
I liked I can't remember the actor's name, but I liked him as Pa Kent.
Pruitt Taylor Vince.
Dude, that guy fucking nailed Jonathan, like Pa Kent. I liked that one.
I greatly disagree with that. I like this take on Mom Pa Kent. It is not traditional at all.
No, it's a more modern look. It's a more modern version of people who are in the Midwest and farming. It is not you have a bunch of money, you can build a house that looks like a farmhouse and all this stuff. This is a more modern take on the current day farming.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you gone to the Midwest?
Think it's just.
No, I have.
But I don't. No, but what I'm saying is, I don't care if it's modern or not. What I'm saying is, I was a little worried when they first showed him because they kind of came off as stupid, and I didn't like that. But then when he goes there, it completely flips.
That phone call was like something out of Foghorn Leghorn at the beginning. That was awful.
That concerned me until they do more with them. Then I'm like, okay, this is fine.
I've like even the phone call. Yeah, I'll had a little concern to it. But once that it kind of did he delivered that line to him while he was down about you give the kids the tools and they'll make fools of themselves. Like I think it did a really good job in giving that humanity that
of course
resonated at the end of the movie that everybody likes.
Yep.
Well,
I think there was.
Here's my last comment, but we haven't heard enough from Toby and Lane for certain. And Charlie, a special guest, my last comment, and I know why this happened. I understand why it happened. I'm just saying I didn't care for it. I don't want to go see a movie titled Superman, and at the climax of the movie, there's a cheering crowd surrounding Guy Gardner. I know.
That scene worked so well, though.
Dude, I want that cheering crowd around the title character of the movie.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from, but boy, that was a good scene for him.
Yeah,
it was a good scene. I just wish it had been, at the halfway point, and then we never saw those characters again, and Superman was on his own to solve the problem at the end.
He does solve it on his own. He sends his friends. He sends his friends to help out.
I think that's kind of the point, too, because it's that Superman does this not for the applause and the appreciation that Guy Gardner needs.
And he can't do it by himself.
Right. I wanted a story of him doing it by himself. That's my take.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Sure.
Like the story.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between kind of like what I said about the L's, right? It's like what you want the story to be and what the story is, right? And I can have that. We can have that debate, but I think as presented, it all worked for me. If you want a different movie, that's totally understandable. I get it. I think if
we got legit constructs, okay.
Yeah. There's plenty of changes you could make to the Snyder movies to have made them more palatable to what people I think wanted, but you got to kind of read it for what it is. I know me and Toby, I love Man of Steel, right? It does something very different, but I think it hits a lot of the same tones. This just is presented, I won't say easier, but this is presented in a maybe more hopeful way.
Sure.
So I think it just resonated better with the audience. More fun.
No, I think
the universe also felt more lived in.
Yeah.
I have to give it a gun though. Like the characters it chose. Like I think if Gunn wasn't I think that he's a comic book nerd comes through all of it, right? Like who in the world, who's a suit would have picked Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner as the Justice Gang, as they call it, in this movie versus like a bunch of famous characters, right? Like
and this is what he
from all these comics and sources, like. He pulled from Smallville in there. He pulled from the Big Belly Burger, I think, is in the background on one of the scenes. He pulled from as recent as Flash stuff. You can tell that he's like a big fat nerd that like is kind of taken from all. So I appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah, they had Jitters, which was that's from Flash.
Yeah.
But no, this is what he does best, right? It's those weird oddball characters, right? And Mr. Terrific is an incredibly smart person, but in a Batman-like way, just can be he knows he's one of the smartest guys in the room.
He's conceited.
So it's an interesting quirk and personality. Hawkgirl obviously is just is a rough character. Guy Gardner is like the perfect character for James Gunn to write. Metamorpho is a monster if he wants to be, right?
I like
they tend to write him funnier, but
the Outsiders Metamorpho, not the original one.
It's only one Metamorpho.
No, there's been two. Because
maybe like random.
The Outsiders had a Metamorpho when Nightwing was in it that was not the original.
Maybe there's been random other things, but there's one Metamorpho. Yeah, this is the main character.
I have to say, like, and this is getting into nitpicky territory, and this is totally personal. I did not like his voice, Metamorpho's voice. I've always imagined it kind of lower pitched and more serious when he's like, "Hey."
Oh, I don't. Yeah, who's the actor?
The guy who plays Chaz. I was like, hey, when they cast him, I'm like, it makes perfect sense.
It was NoHo Hank from Barry.
Yeah, right. I
did not expect that voice to come out that way. Oh, yo, my kid! I was like, whoa! It's not how Again, this is personal. Like this is not nothing against how they did it. They're just like, this is not how I imagined that voice to be at all. Like,
same here.
Not sure if I see him as an ancient Egyptian pharaoh scavenger, but that's
Is that the voice
It's,
he has in other shows or no?
No, I mean that's I don't know if that's his normal voice, but he has in Barry, yeah, he sounds totally different. Or not totally different, but he has like an accent.
Mhm.
I want to say I
How good Barry was! Oh, Barry was so good.
Barry was very
Shit.
good.
TV show?
Yeah, that's Metamorpho, the NoHo Hank.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Sorry, didn't.
Ryan, there's one issue we haven't settled, which is how did you like Guy Gardner's hair?
It was perfect in the movie. Yeah, great in the movie.
Okay.
They went in with that's what they spent that last $100 million on was fixing Guy Gardner's hair. Yeah, it worked totally fine in the movie. Yeah, horrible in that first trailer. Fixed it in post. So nailed it.
I don't
Nailed
think
it.
it at all.
Good in both cases.
I think it's been the same the entire time. I think it's all in your head. I have to say, I really, really like Lex in this one. Not necessarily my favorite Lex, but I really, really like what Holt did with this version. The only thing I will say though, even though the scene at the time I thought was awesome, is the Russian roulette gun scene. In my mind, after thinking about it, I'm like, I don't think Lex would do that in front of someone. He's like, he would let someone else do it, but that's
He does it when he knows he can't be.
Yeah,
caught.
he's in a pocket universe.
fair enough. I just think still he would not do it, but yeah. That was like when I watched the scene the first time, I'm like, holy shit. And then when I watched, that's the 1% I saw the second time around. When I saw it again, I started like, I don't know if Lex would do that, but maybe, yeah.
Well,
because he's can't get cut, but yeah.
I think that scene specifically, his reaction after that happens was, I think, genuine in the sense of like, oh shit, I just did that, and you can kind of see, like, that's supposed to build on the effect that Superman has on Lex, right? Like, he's pushed him to this, right?
Lex is the one part of the movie where I just feel disappointed because
it's too much. There's too many Lexes in there.
What?
There's too many Lexes. Like, he's an amalgam of the 78. He's an amalgam of the Mad Scientist. He's an amalgam of All-Star. He is a huge amalgam of Lexes that just doesn't really resonate completely.
I will actually, Charlie. I will steal something that you said to me. I think right after the screening, and I'm going to steal your thunder here a little bit. I think I wish, even though Lex got defeated, he won in some other way. And I think that Charlie, that's something you said at the very end to me, and I want to give you the credit because when you said that, I'm like, yes, I fully agree. Like, even though Lex goes down, he would have won in some other ways, and I would have liked to seen that Lex. Like, even though he loses in one, he actually wins in other ways. Like, so. Mm-hmm. That Lex wasn't in there, I feel like, but maybe that's for a future movie.
As I said, I feel like that's just a symptom of this is like when you think about Lex in TV shows, they have done him very well because they can keep him as the bad guy, but not need to have him in prison at the end of the first episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that way, by the time you get to the Lex has finally fallen from grace, it feels so satisfying because it had time to breathe. It's not just the introduction to now he's in jail. And I really kind of feel like, from a movie perspective, if they always introduce him and have him in jail at the end of the movie, I will never feel like they got the character quite right.
Yeah.
That being said,
he's in jail at the end of Superman, the original movie.
I know, and that's a part of the thing that I have a problem with that too. It feels like that's every time we've had Lex, that is what happens. Like when you think about Man of Steel, he wasn't in that, so they introduced him in Batman v Superman, in jail at the I much prefer the person pulling the strings Lex that Superman can't immediately put in jail because he respects due process, because he needs more proof than that and that kind of thing. I think that plays better. for me. But and in going to like the other characters that they use with like Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and that stuff, and I thought this worked brilliantly. Is I really like the scene with the kaiju. I really like the scene where Superman's trying to figure out how to save the kaiju, and they just show up and put down the kaiju. Like, that's part of the reason why I like the characterization in this movie so much is the world's not necessarily sold on who's right in some of these discussions at this point. Like, it seems like people at that point generally felt safer with Superman, which is why when the message came out and stuff, there was a certain level of shock where those that were going to immediately kind of take it at face value did, but you still had the kids raising the Superman flag at the end and that kind of stuff. It made it clear that a lot of the turning on him was not everybody and such. And as Brock already pointed out, they also made it very, very clear that Lex was being very controlling over the narrative that everybody was looking up to determine that stuff. And like to that point, like the government still needed to be talked into it and such. So I don't know. I agree with the message from the elves was not traditional, but at the same time, like I feel like, and this is true of comics in general, over time, there's always going to be an aspect of, okay, this person that I considered kind of. I remember going through this with Professor X. Professor X was such a positive force. He represented hope and all that. And then there was that whole era of comics where it's like, no, Professor X is just an asshole. It's the same kind of thing with like Jor-El. Like we've had, even in normal comics, Jor-El shows up and he's not quite the altruistic good guy that you think he should be and that kind of stuff.
Sure. So, yeah, I don't need him to be that, but I just don't want him to be a fucking warlord.
They can be cold scientist parents, right?
Yeah, that I'm fine
that's
with.
okay. But like, you can't have them be cold scientist evil parents, like evil scientists.
You can, and they did, and that's I will see how this plays out, but I think there's ways away from it if they want to.
Yeah,
but they might not want to. So
I also figure they may not make this a big focal point. Like they don't. Yeah, they don't even necessarily need to mention Krypton again, except for Supergirl. I do agree that they will probably revisit some of that in that movie a little bit. But all that being said, I really like the way that every character felt true. As I said, like the Lex, I kind of have to give it a little bit just because I understand the movie nature of it. I just wish they would have been a little braver that way. But all that being said, like I really like the characterizations, and I agree that interview scene is like the ultimate scene. It's funny because obviously that was in some of the trailers and stuff too. Yeah, and that was still like my favorite scene in the movie just because it's that ultimate characterization of Superman is played just right and Lois is played just right, and she's asking all the tough questions even when she knows how he feels about it and that kind of stuff because it's an interview. And that whole scene was so perfect.
Yep.
But I do agree with Kevin's point of, to me, this was the introduction to a already established DCU movie, which I can get by having other characters in it and that kind of stuff to have heroic moments. It did not, like, if you think about instances in the movie where like Superman really clearly saved the day, there was nothing that he really handled single-handedly through the movie, and I get that. I can get that complaint because, like, even with the kaiju, they didn't solve it the way he wanted them to, but he also wasn't solving it before they showed up and such like that.
Yeah,
So
saving Crypto, he had to have help to get himself out. Even fighting Ultraman at the end, he needed Crypto's help. Like there was, but that's kind of the nature of the Superman characters. Like, you want some,
and I think that is very much intentionally the point of this movie.
Yeah.
So was him building that relationship, him building that trust, because he kind of was.
Yeah.
I mean, he says like, oh, they're not my friends; they're just, you know, these guys I kind of work with. So yeah, I think that was all very.
We all know he hasn't met
you,
his one true friend, which is Bruce. So you know,
I'm sure we'll get to that at some point.
But I will say, in general, as a fan of a already established DC universe, I am so excited for all the projects that come after this now.
Oh, when Supergirl showed up, I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this! I want Woman of Tomorrow. Let's go!"
Yeah. I like I said, I think Gunn does such a good job with the non-perfect characters, right? And he has to really, but he did it with Superman too, where he's like, no, he might not be perfect, but he's just a nice guy, and that's his character flaw, is that he's a nice guy, and so it leads to some interesting stuff in the movie. Supergirl being a mess, I fucking love. Like that should be really fun. Now again, they can make it bad. It can be, they could make the character not the character, but at the end of the day, if she has the same sort of heart as Superman, that's how she gets there it can be different. But this feels like it'll be a more nuanced, relatable character than the kind of that Mary Sue 1950s perfect girl that Kara's been kind of the Silver Age pre-crisis
it's the
stuff,
Batman, Superman, Supergirl, right? The one where she's lost, right? Like
more of that.
It's the character that is finding herself in the world, not from a growing up in it, but a thrust into it, right? I like that take more so than the one you were talking about. But again, I think we all want to see more of Maxwell Lord, right? Is it Maxwell Lord in that one, or is it?
Sorry, and that would be Pollyanna, not Mary Sue.
Sorry.
I mixed up my descriptive female names.
No, it was what was Gunn's brother?
Get that on the record there, Kevin.
Right.
I corrected myself mid-podcast.
Yep.
I said it, and I I was like, Mary Sue.
Yeah, I was like, Mary Sue.
Pollyanna. That's the word I'm looking for.
There
we go.
But it's Maxwell Lord, right? That Gunn's brother plays. Yeah, his one scene in the movie was, I loved it. I laughed my ass off. Like
you get a second, but there wasn't too much to that. But I'll see what they do with. I'll be excited for because they're going to be in Peacemaker 2 soon, so we should see them pretty soon.
The beginning of August, right?
Yeah, I would think Superman has a cameo in it. It would make sense.
I recognize I'm in the minority here not for you guys, for the world at large and I know what the world has become as far as superhero movies is like every movie's a crossover. I as much as I enjoyed seeing Michael Keaton in the Flash movie, part of me just wanted a Flash adventure. My case here is I just wanted a Superman adventure, not a Justice League adventure.
Hey, it's Justice Gang. They're still working on that.
The first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie I loved. I wish it didn't have Tony Stark in it. It's that kind of thing. But I recognize we live in a crossover world now, and there aren't going to be those solo stories unless maybe on a series.
No, but Kevin, I wonder if this is just to kickstart it.
Yeah, I
wonder. I mean, Lobo is in Supergirl, but I wonder if it's still a Supergirl story overall, and some of these characters kind of appear. I mean, this one may have been a little stronger, but I'm hoping that this just kickstart because Gunn did say that he wants every movie to have a completely different feel and point of view. So I'm hoping, the while this is kind of like the superhero start, that the Supergirl is going to be like the teenage sci-fi story, and then we get like a darker Batman. So who knows, right? Like I'm that's what I'm hoping for. I'm not. Yeah, I understand your fear, but yeah, I hope this is where we're going.
I agree, and where I think the difference there is, right? It's not like Superman put on the Green Lantern ring and got Hawkgirl's mace and started going around fighting people, right? That's what Marvel has done, and that's what I don't like. This is still a Superman story about Superman. The Justice League is there, but they're a plot point to the growth of Superman, not a greater force giving those powers to Superman. And that's where I think Marvel has made, especially with Spider-Man. When I say I want a normal Spider-Man movie, I don't care if Daredevil and Punisher and Hulk are in it. I just want a Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man is Spider-Man, right? We haven't had that yet. He's been Iron Man and Doctor Strange. I would like Spider-Man to be in a movie. Funny enough, but the only time he's been Spider-Man was Civil War.
And that animated show.
Sorry. You watched that?
I watched the first episode because I really like I like what you're talking about. I'll go where I need to go to get classic bumbling Spider-Man without high-tech armor, without magic. I'll go where I need to go, and if I need to go to animation, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want Superman to show up wearing Peacemaker's helmet and in the Peacemaker show. No, thank you.
Like I said, I liked that John Cena's Peacemaker was a moment in the Superman movie to acknowledge that is a connection, right? Like Daredevil was in the Spider-Man movie. Like he was there for like a reason he would be there. Right.
That is a perfectly fine cameo.
Like that, when it's a perfectly fine, reasonable cameo for that character be there, works well. But when, like you said, Tony's running most of the stuff in the first one, Nick Fury's running most of the stuff in the second one, and then Doctor Strange is running most of the stuff in the third one. It's, again, the Spider-Man movies were team-up movies. They weren't necessarily just Spider-Man films. But maybe 4 will.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Last thoughts? Anything?
Thoughts? Oh man.
Yeah, I have some small nitpicks in the movie, which I don't know. I mean, well, one to me that stood out, which is something I think it's just new to the first time I've really had this issue with the new DC stuff. I didn't like the original score, except for the Superman theme. Like, I felt like the score was not helping because Gunn has a tendency just to use actual music over the highlighted moments, so that's fine. But the score at other times of the film I felt wasn't as interesting or as well done as previous movies.
I thought it was interesting that it was actually original music and not like existing stuff. Like he wasn't playing like David Bowie, right? It was stuff custom made for the movie.
But I'm just saying, like for example, there was no Hans Zimmer though. That could bring up hype up those moments. Like
there's no Wonder Woman, like that's her song, right?
That's also Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, I know, but like that's there's no. This is definitive, is what you're saying.
No, it's not the theme song. Like I said, the theme song's fine. It's every other moment in the film. Like there's no usually there's something that hypes you up like right before the climax of the film. Like music-wise, not talking about the action on the screen.
I actually agree with Lane. I thought the score was a little. I mean, look, the Superman theme is the Superman theme, but I thought the actual score was a little not up to par to the other ones.
Yeah, like it wasn't changing or helping my emotions throughout the film. It just felt blah. Like okay, I'm watching a great film, but normally a good score helps you accentuate moments of the film.
Yeah, if it sort of falls into the background, I'm fine with that. I mean, I love good score, obviously. But
I think Gunn is more a music picker, though.
Yeah.
I think he likes to pick songs, like existing songs versus.
But even then, like I really love, like, for example, I love the first Guardians, the actual score, not the songs, the side score, the original score, because it still helped move things along and it felt original and interesting. Whereas,
who did the score on this one?
I don't know. I didn't actually see.
Yeah, well,
I'm kind of curious too. Yeah, I want to look. I'll look that up later.
I feel bad just for bashing someone.
Yeah. But that's minor. Like that's just a nitpick. It didn't hurt the enjoyment of the film, but it's just something I noticed. And then other things.
Let's acknowledge Man of Steel had an awesome score. Whatever you think about it.
I love the
Man of Steel. It's one of my favorite scores ever. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah. And to me, it added a lot to the movie. So I kind of agree with what you're saying here.
Yeah, especially like for me, like the flying scenes when he's just starting to fly. Man, that really gets you up and going on those.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
But like other nitpicks,
I got them. John Murphy and David Fleming.
Okay, I've never heard of them, so they must be new.
Well, the review that I
came from TV.
The review I pulled up literally starts out with John Murphy and David Fleming's score for Superman is sadly focused on cheap trailerized repeating excerpts of John Williams' iconic theme playing over seemingly synthesized generic sounding action music. And while this isn't the worst thing in the world, the theme still sounds great due to Williams' thematic skill. You can't help but wonder how much better this could have been had another composer tackled it instead.
I mean, I don't mind that they want to go with the theme. I don't mind that they want to go with the classic theme, and they did update it in some ways. So I don't mind that. But the overall through the movie, I did not notice the score like I did in some other superhero movies.
Yep.
And that goes all the way back to the first Superman, to the Keaton Batmans, to like, quite a few of them. I actually think a lot of the Marvel scores is not that good either.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like at least on the major DC superhero movies, the scores have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
A lot of them, not all, but on a lot of them, that's what was very memorable. So I will say that, I agree with that statement.
Well, I mean, we got off to an amazing start with Danny Elfman on the first ones with Batman and all that, like all the originals, like so amazing. The other minor nitpicks. Well, obviously I'm biased, but I wish the Engineer was a little ever so slightly different. But whatever, it's the Engineer. Mostly just the way her powers looked, just weird, but whatever. Another thing, I really didn't understand the point of the river in the Pocket Universe. Like, they kept making it sound like it's this big deal, like, like it's anti-particles or whatever, and then it's like they just take a swim for it and nothing happens. I know it's Superman, but still, it's like...
Well, because it's Superman. He was keeping the baby out of it.
Yeah, but like, did it really need to go on for 5 minutes when nothing really happened? And then but even the guys in the soldiers in the armor were going in it too, and it's just like, okay, why are they still fighting? Like, isn't this thing supposed to be bad? Like, I think they could have just cut all that stuff out. Like, it was just pointless. Like that whole sequence was a little bit pointless. And like other thing, about Luthor going to jail kind of bugs me. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if it's true, but maybe it's just my interpretation because, we don't want to get into the politics, but I do feel like Luthor is kind of a mirror image to politics right now. And one thing to think about is like, so him going to jail at the end doesn't 100% make sense to me because don't forget, he's still the president. So,
wait, Luthor's the president?
Isn't he?
No.
President of
I thought he was the president of the U.S. because that's what they're implying.
What?
No.
What?
Oh, who is? Because why does he meeting with the whatchamacallit?
Rick Flag and all that.
Yeah.
No, he's just working with the government.
Are you sure? Because he's commanding them in interviews.
Yes. What?
I don't know.
No, it's just because he's
I don't know.
I know it's just because he's.
I think he's a defense contractor. Right?
Yeah. Because he's Lex Luthor, the richest guy
that's what I'm saying.
on the planet.
That's something that's a little mixed. Because early on, like now maybe
you don't think fucking Elon Musk walked into those meetings with that exact same attitude. Like, come on, that's exactly what he's doing.
But then there's other things too that also why like I'm kind of questioning like.
Why would he become half president of Becky-Stan instead of being president of the United States? He already got his.
I agree. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying is like this is the part where I wasn't sure because the film to me kind of makes this, and maybe there's a little inference, but it's like it's not 100% clear because there's also inferences where like, remember in the interview she says you didn't consult the president. But it doesn't mention who it is.
Because the actual president, though.
Right, but they don't say who it is.
Well, you don't need to know who it is.
But then I
love this podcast.
I just love because I guess maybe this is a little bit the outside media interfering because I know like early on before maybe there's a little cloud where they were saying that some of the influence and some of the things was President Lex was being part of this movie. So maybe that also got in my head as far as maybe taking that assumption.
Yeah.
But still, there are other clues, things that were hinting that he has more power than he was showing. No, not necessarily. Maybe not president, but I'm not 100% sure because there just seemed to be a lot more power play than what was implied.
Because he's the richest guy in the universe. That's why. And they were like, "What?" And they're like, "Fuck, we're the government. Like, you pay for all our. You gave $60 billion in military aid or whatever to that other country. So, like, yeah, you're just we do what you tell us to do because you're
$60 billion
paying for
to
all this
another
shit.
company doesn't get you the rights to do stuff on
Country,
right, but that gives you rights on their country, not on our country.
But you're doing it because it's the it was the U.S.'s ally that they were giving it to. So they're like, the U.S. is like, we're not doing it, but Lex is doing it. So but the people didn't know.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't think maybe he's not president, but maybe I think the whole point is I think there is kind of a hidden underlying.
There's no maybe about it.
Whatever.
Lex was not president of the United States. And that was bizarro. Like I feel like I'm in a lunatic asylum. Like what is happening in this podcast?
But what I'm saying is everything that he did feels like a mirror image to politics right now.
Well, yes, that's the point.
Lane, I think in a movie like this where subtlety is not really a tool in their toolkit, you would have seen him in the White House at some point, not running everything out of a tower.
There's the scene in Superman 2. There's a scene in Superman 2 where Lex like puts his feet up on the Oval desk, right? Like when after Zod like rips the roof off, right? It's the same thing, right? It's like he's like I'm the real power, right? The president is just a puppet. Lex Luthor is the real power here. I'm the one that says we're going into fight this other country. So
okay, I don't know. Like I said, that little round room thing kind of just was confusing to me because they all had name tags and everything, and it's just like really weird.
Yeah, because he's a fucking no.
But what did it? I couldn't see what it said on his name tag.
Lex Luthor.
But some of them said Mr. Luthor.
Mr. Luthor, yeah.
No, but some of them said didn't it say? I think Rick Flagg's had his position on it, didn't it?
Yeah, General Flagg, but Lex's just said Mr. Luthor. Because I was laying, the reason I know this is because I was watching that scene going, why do they have those nameplates for just a private little meeting like that when everybody would know each other?
Right. And well, even then, like as a private contractor, okay, I know you want to make the excuse that, he's Elon Musk and he should get this, but I don't know if that's really true. Like, yeah, I understand that you guys have all these, backdoor shit and all that stuff, but it's like, this is a movie for the common person to watch. I don't know, like this is something that, like, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't really made clear who everyone in that room really represented then in that case.
It's just random people at the government. Like, you are way overthinking
I could.
this.
Like I said, I'll admit that, but I'm saying make them more obvious then. I wish this is my nitpick then. Put it
I don't know how it can be, but they're just random. It's just that one. They're like random government people. It's just random military people.
But then why is he there?
Because he's the one that's like, yeah, we're still recording. Because he's the one that's like, we fucking have to go in. I'm gonna give you guys all the money to do this. I'm gonna provide them with all the weapons.
No, he didn't. Hold on. He had a point. Hold on. There was a reason. Hold on.
That wasn't the reason he was there.
No.
We gotta get Luthor. We gotta get Superman out of here.
Yeah, he wanted the government to turn on Superman, so there is a reason why he's there.
Right, yeah. But the point is, how is that a part of, like, that's what I'm saying, where it's like, that's not necessarily a weapons manufacturing question then, is what I'm saying, where it's like, what I'm, like I'm just saying, like, put a little, like, make it somewhere, like, make this, instead of having this hidden room, put it fucking in Lex Luthor's office then, or something, and have them visit, it's just like, or at least.
It's just like a military. It's just like It's just like
this is the same as RDJ in the first Iron Man movie, trying to make his point with those other guys, where he goes boom, and this is like when all the shit blows up.
Yeah,
that's the same scene. It's literally the same scene.
I'm not sure what you're talking about right now. I don't.
In Iron Man 1, where he's selling them all the weapons when they shoot off all the missiles at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but you're talking about the point when he's in front of the terrorists.
No, when he's in front of the buyers.
Oh my god, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
the military
matter.
buyers. Yeah, but see, once again, you could tell they're military buyers and stuff like that, though.
We could tell in this one too, though. I mean, that's how I took it.
I don't know. I just took it as like he's a little. Like I said, it doesn't have to be president. I could have misconstrued presidency, but I'm just saying it just seemed a little weird that he has the that he's trying to push this so much. But whatever. Like that's not really the point. Is just like you
because
said.
he's Lex.
What?
Because he's Lex and hates Superman. That's why he's pushing it so hard.
No, it's not that. It's how he got the audience. But okay, whatever. Like, I mean, obviously, there's something that's we don't have a history of the new Lex until that point. So I guess that's just. I think maybe it's kind of skipped over until that point.
He's like, United States government. You want to keep your allies. You want to get rid of Superman. I'm the guy that can do it. I have the weapons. I have the power. I have the ability, and that's why he's there. So.
I don't know. I'm still questioning like what he said though, where it's like he's basically trying to tell them it's more about the fact that Superman to him is enemy number one, and I want to take him on, and I'll fund it, but I don't care what the rest of you guys want. I'm going to do this. Well, I want the right to do this.
Once that video came out, the government was like, "Yes, for the love of God, please take out Superman immediately." That's all they were waiting for.
Yes, I mean. They weren't waiting for the video, but they needed a better reason. But yes, then he finally provided it.
Well, that's why he gave it to him.
Yeah. Well, and that's also another reason why that could also be fake. But whatever. But still, it just seemed like he had this singular purpose in mind. That
yes, to destroy Superman. Right. It's a pretty common thing of Superman of Lex Luthor. He usually wants to destroy Superman.
But my point is that the rest of the people in the room. Why were they specifically involved? And they did not have those intentions. I'm just saying that there's something missing that could have filled that gap a little better and explained this a little bit better. Where, like I said, Rick Flag and a couple of the other guys were all in different positions.
I'm out, Kevin. I'm out.
That's the whole purpose of that is they had already explained that Superman invaded that other country and got into sort of world politics and how that basically affects the perception of the U.S. getting involved.
Yes.
So Lex was trying to basically spin that into after Superman did this, we need to go imprison him and make it clear that he was not acting on, and they're like, no. You have vested interest in us taking this action, so he provided a different reason later on. But it was all, he got the audience by basically saying, Superman fucked up over here. I think it's time we act. And they said no.
It was his Amanda Waller moment. Like that's all that scene was.
Honestly, she was the only one I was really surprised was not in that room.
Me too. But it's like that was the Amanda Waller moment. That was, I want to do this, and they're like, yeah, no, and he's like, okay, and then he goes and gives them a reason for them to say yes. Like that's really what that scene was.
Like I said, I'm not arguing the idea that they are there for a reason and they're there. I'm just saying, like, it's just that, like I said, as a layperson going in, it was ever so slightly confusing because I don't understand like why he okay, if you just want to make up the excuse that we're just going to have to believe everything that's up to that point, sure, whatever. It's just a nitpick for me because like I would prefer them to have like something that better signifies who the fuck they are and what they're bringing to the table there and why Lex is there. Other than, yes, he has this excuse, but I'm saying, how did he get their audience specifically? Things like that. Like, I don't care. Like, I understand the point of it. I just don't understand, like how he was able to pull it off. And I know that maybe that's just, like I said, this is why it's a nitpick, because I understand, like, sure, I don't want to spend another 4 or 5, 10 minutes on the film just trying to explain that. I mean, it could have been a 2-line thing, but they didn't do it, is why I'm saying it's a nitpick. Or, they could have just put some friggin' flags behind them or something, or like I said, change the room so I know what it is. And that's all I'm saying. That's why it's a nitpick. And then,
but before Kevin leaves, we'll get back to whatever anyone else has to say, but I know Kevin's going to have to go in a minute. Kevin, before we started recording, you had a statement that you made about the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, you're going to make it public?
And I want to get to that before.
You're going to hold them to it?
Oh, sure, why not?
Animal, right,
okay, I didn't realize this was a secret.
Oh, you're a vicious animal.
No.
What do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah. No, because I don't think you're in the minority.
So we're 2 weeks away from FF.
Yeah.
This has been my most wanted Marvel movie since Marvel started. So we're at...
And obviously you've been on the you've been off all the comic movies, and Superman has not really helped.
So I didn't take Toby's advice, as I've already said publicly. I should have taken Toby's advice and not watch Thunderbolts, not watch Cap, the most recent Cap, but I did. And so the comment that I made was, I think FF is my last stand, like in this fight. Like I'm putting all my chips, I'm pushing all my chips in the middle of the table on Fantastic Four. And if that is not, I don't know what the criteria is for good. So it's hard for me to say if that's not good. I don't know. I didn't really think it through, Ryan, to say, like, if I don't rate it like an A- at least, then this. So that part I can't really clarify. But the point.
No, but
go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say your point is, it might be time to really actually take a step back.
Yeah.
From the
as
movies.
I was telling you guys, I'm retired from Star Wars, except for Andor.
Yes.
Except for Andor, and I'm going back to. I'm a little bit older than most of you, but I'm going back to standing in line on the sidewalk to see Return of the Jedi, reading my illustrated Empire Strikes Back book while waiting for like 2 hours to get into the single screen theater to see Jedi. That's how far back this goes. The time,
Thank you. Sorry.
The time has passed me by. It's on. It's for a new audience now. It's just not for me anymore, and that's okay. That's okay. We may be getting there, or I may be getting there with superhero movies. So stay tuned. 2 weeks from now, for an update on my life.
What does it mean? You're just gonna not watch superheroes movies anymore?
It's going to be a very much, Toby, of a, because for a long time for all of us, they were like an automatic. Oh, this is opening. That's the next thing to see. It's going to be very much like any other movie where it's entirely a case-by-case basis, or watch it at home or don't watch it at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars, I haven't seen the last 5 or 6 things they've done.
You don't need to see any of them, just watch them.
I haven't seen any of the Marvel shows except for Daredevil. I have no interest in any of the new Ghostbusters, Transformers, fucking shit like Stranger Things. Never in a million years.
Wait, you're not excited about the new Ghostbuster cartoon on Netflix?
I don't know anything about it, but probably not, because like all the new movies look like fucking ass, I refuse to watch them.
They're continuing the 80s one.
Okay.
Well, you're excited about
Ryan.
You're excited about Wednesday coming back, though.
Yeah, so like, trust me. Wednesday? I mean, that is the end of Tim Burton for me, right? I'm just I said I should never watch Beetlejuice 2. Then I watched Beetlejuice 2, and I was like, this was a fucking mistake. I am out. So, I know I'm with you with a bunch of stuff.
I think both of you are correct in the sense that, like, for me, I didn't finish the Netflix stuff. I tapered off the Star Wars stuff. I know. I stopped. I didn't even finish a lot of the CW stuff. Like, there's
no one did.
That's normal TV being in season 10.
I know, but like, I think just the amount of content we've been getting, that whole kind of, like,
you guys are whiny bitches, man. Just remember, we had Dolph Lundgren Punisher, Reeve Superman, Linda Carter Wonder Woman, and that was kind of it.
But isn't this good? Movie? We can say no. We can say I'm good.
I don't like.
There's enough out there. There's other stuff I can do and I can watch. And I've seen so much.
Just watch what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have this before.
Like, I think, Toby, what I'm meaning is, Toby, in my case, is not just like, oh, I haven't really loved any of the superhero movies lately, so therefore I'm going to make a dramatic pronouncement and just stop watching. It's very particularly the one I have most wanted is about to be here, and if this lets me down, I don't know where to turn.
Fair enough.
Oh, I told you, if Superman fucking sucked or tanked, I don't know where the entire company turns, right? So they got a couple more years at least.
Wait, Kevin, did you say the exact same thing on the last 2 Fantastic Four reboots?
No, because I had no expectation of those being good.
No, because we didn't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But I did watch them, Lane. I did watch them.
Okay, just checking.
Wait, the last two?
Yeah, the Tranks and the original Jessica Alba ones. Because if this is his big
three.
film, well,
There's three.
generation wise, I'm talking, not.
Well, then it is still three because you don't count the Corman one. Best one.
That was not released theatrically.
That's the most accurate one of them all.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, anyway, we can put a pin in this for 2 weeks. See what the world looks like then.
Well, the question is, have you pre-ordered your tickets already?
Oh God, no!
Okay.
I don't think Brock. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a ticket for a movie in my life.
Okay.
Unless Ryan got it for me at some point.
This is true.
So if Kevin isn't on the podcast in 2 weeks, we know his answer.
We know his answer.
I'm showing up, hell or high water.
Oh,
I'm not going to hide. And believe me, hey guys, this is not like I'm hoping for a hate watch so I can make a dramatic pronouncement and like throw the mic down. I want it to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did you didn't watch the trailer at all?
Nope.
So you know nothing about it except for
I've seen the posters.
Okay. Interesting.
Here's my feeling with FF. I think it's going to be fine, and that's almost worse.
Yeah, that's gonna be the hard one if it's fine.
Yeah, because if it sucks, at least you can just be like, okay, Marvel's going to burn it all down. If it's great, okay, this is the turning point. If it's just kind of mediocre, then you're like, well, what do we do? I guess it's okay. Like, not bad, but it's okay. Kevin, you're free to go whenever you're done,
right.
whenever you need it. Sometimes you got to take off. Everyone else, anything
Toby,
else?
We've almost hit your time.
Don't say it. Don't jinx it.
You know.
Well, because Brock got jinxed because Ryan's saying anything else. Well, this is your moment.
I'm keeping an eye on it. I know what time it is. If anyone has stuff to keep talking about, go for it. This is your moment.
K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix.
Okay, here we go.
Another hour of this podcast.
No.
What do you? Have you watched it, Kevin?
No, Ryan told me he liked it.
I will give you guys the what I said in Geekbox. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes.
Which Toby was like, you guys gotta watch this.
Yes.
I was like, I never heard of this.
Yes.
And Leanne's like, oh, all my friends are talking about this. It's some Netflix animated movie. And I'm like, it sounds like the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And then she's like, well, we're going to watch it tonight. I'm like, fine. We started watching it. I'm like, I'm going to throw myself out of a rooftop the first 10 minutes of this movie. I'm like, this is as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's actually pretty decent. It's actually pretty decent. It does.
This just for clarity, that means it's awesome. If Ryan says it's pretty decent, that means it's fucking awesome.
If I am saying this movie is pretty decent, then yes, it is. The average person would think it's fucking awesome. Yes, it is actually darker and deeper than you might think, and
the songs are phenomenal.
It's very modern. It's going to be very popular. I think Sony hit on something kind of. It's not.
Well, I think they got something without knowing they had something.
Yeah,
right. I think like Spider-Verse. I think people had some expectations for this. I've never even heard of this movie till a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's a week ago, and it's. Look, they can ruin anything. But I think this movie is going to find its fans.
Oh, it already has. Have you not seen all the Artist Alley postings? It's all
I know.
Characters? Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to hit. This is going to hit an audience that wanted a movie like this pretty hard.
This is going to hit Comic-Con pretty hard. I'll tell you that much. There's going to be so many cosplayers. There's going to be so many fan arts. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge without them doing stuff about it.
Right,
I almost guarantee you there's not going to be a panel. I think there's not going to be an announcement, but it's going to be the biggest thing at Comic-Con this year. It's probably K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart movie.
Yeah.
By the way, a piece of news went by for those who don't know Ryan personally and just know.
Oh, he died?
No.
Whoa. Spoilers.
Ryan
been talking to right now.
Ryan announcing that he's done with Tim Burton. for some, you might just hear that and go, yeah, so we don't all like certain directors. This is
that's Ryan's boy.
That's like saying Ryan's saying he's done with comic books.
No, that's Ryan saying he's done with 80s music.
Tim Burton is like my top 3 favorite directors of all time, and I think I hate half of what he's done at this point. It's so depressing.
I don't know. I'll believe it.
What's your favorite Burton movie, Ryan? Your favorite Burton movie?
Oh, I mean,
Edward Scissorhands.
Okay, Edward. You know what?
It's Ed Wood. Ed Wood is his favorite fucking Tim Burton movie.
The correct answer is Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. Ed Wood is objectively the best.
No,
correct.
That is
correct.
wrong.
So Beetlejuice is my favorite. Ed Wood is the best, and Mars Attacks is secretly the best.
What about Pee-wee?
Okay, you know what? Pee-wee and Edward Scissorhands. Here's my hot take. They're very good movies. They are not on the top of my list. I prefer his other, and obviously Batman and Batman Returns. I kind of count those.
Those are just.
I kind of count those a little bit different. I kind of count those a little bit separate. I like Pee-wee. I like Edward Scissorhands, but I like his other movies better. I think Mars Attacks is criminally underrated.
Well,
I
and
love
you
Mars
also have such a soft spot for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. Well, he didn't direct it, but he produced it. But I mean, Nightmare, obviously. But
wait. Did he produce the Marky Mark ones?
He directed that.
He did?
Yeah.
I did not like that one.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I did not like that one.
I'm talking about Planet of the
So
Apes.
Ryan, what's the
very
Burtons that have killed you?
Oh, hold on. Let me guess. Besides Wednesday, it's the X-Men one, right? The X-Men movie one. What's it called?
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see
You
that.
didn't even see it. See, all right.
No.
Hold on. I don't think Sleepy Hollow killed it. Did it?
No, Sleepy Hollow was good.
Yeah.
I liked Big Fish. I didn't love it. I liked it.
I liked Big Fish.
I didn't hate Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm
not just going down the list.
That was too weird for me.
So this is where we go. So like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like it's an okay update. Corpse Bride was pretty good. I actually really like Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd was okay.
Sleepy Hollow. I like Sleepy Hollow. That's pretty good.
So what? I'm waiting to hear. This all sounds positive.
So I didn't
an excellent job of getting closer to 209.
I didn't hate Alice in Wonderland the way everyone did.
I did.
But it was like Dark Shadows, Big Eyes. Yeah, that Miss Peregrine's Home. By the time we get to Dumbo, I'm like, no, thank you.
Dumbo that killed it?
I never saw it. Leanne watches. It's just one of the worst movies she's ever seen. Like I heard about Beetlejuice for so long, I was like, I can't fucking no. And I broke my promise to myself, and I watched it, and it was awful. And yeah, obviously Wednesday probably was the thing that actually killed it. Like it was just so bad because I'd be like, we're just like, okay, like Dark Shadows and you know, you have Big Eyes and you have a bunch of these in a row that are like, I don't know. And then like fucking Wednesday is wretched and Beetlejuice.
I loved Wednesday with my daughter.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen. So I'm just like, no, I am done. I am done. But what a run. Ed Wood, Mars Attacks.
I mean,
no, it tracks because I didn't really like Mars Attacks, so it tracks that you like that one.
Ed Wood?
No, Mars Attacks.
Oh, Mars Attacks is fucking phenomenal.
Too weird.
And what about Planet of the Apes? Planet of the Apes?
It's okay.
That's not. No, it's bad.
I mean, he had like fucking 10 bangers in a row. And then like kind of 5 or 6 that are okay. And then like
you can get that with most directors that you really like that have made a lot of movies. Like
never seen a bad Quentin Tarantino movie. He probably is my favorite director. I mean, I think it'd be pretty hard to pick anyone else just because
David Lynch.
Tarantino's done better stuff, like more better stuff. David Lynch is obviously amazing. I probably like the best of the David Lynch's movies better, but I like everything Tarantino's done, and there's a couple Lynch where I'm like, yeah, we actually watched From Dusk Till Dawn last night. Oh wait, it was called Sinners. Sorry, I forgot. It was called Sinners.
Good movie.
Sorry. Oops, I forgot. Sorry, I got my
Once
moves
Upon
mixed
a
up
Time
there.
in Mexico. Didn't he direct that one too?
No, those are Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
No, that was Rodriguez. Yeah,
both of them were.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't do From Dusk Till Dawn. He
was in it.
wrote it and
Okay.
co-starred in it.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm a 40-year-old white guy. I'm a mid 40-year-old white guy. Of course, I'll have.
I'm not a huge
I
Quentin
actually
Tarantino
think
fan.
the Sinners guy is the new man. Like I liked and loved
Ryan
every
Coogler?
single thing he's done so far.
Yeah.
Like every single thing, and I'm talking about scores. The guy that does all the scores for him is phenomenal. Like the Sinners score, I fucking love it.
I'm only making fun of Sinners because I just saw so many people say like this is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I'm like, well, it's good.
No,
but-
I'm not saying it's the best movie. I say it's one of the best movies seen in the theaters in a while.
Oh no, I want to. I don't want to. It was very good, but it was nothing. I want to say nothing original, but it's like I've seen this before. Literally seen this before.
I mean, it's just his take on ideas.
Yeah. But I people's reaction to that movie was like a new genre of film was invented, and I'm like, it's just From Dusk Till Dawn. Like again, it's good. It's really good, but like it's nothing unique. So I'm a little confused by the reactions to it, but I liked it.
I think it's because there were a bunch of turkeys at the theaters for a while.
I mean, maybe if you've never seen movies before, but
No, I'm just saying
Like,
the
no,
recent
recent,
fucking
yeah.
years. In the recent fucking years, it's been turkeys. I'm just saying it's been a few turkeys the last few years.
Sure.
You know, not everything could be fucking Paddington Bear.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
I mean,
that's a
I
high
love the
bar.
creator, but most people don't like that or haven't watched it. So
Yeah. In fact, I will say
Okay.
Paddington 2 is the bar, not even Paddington 3.
Paddington 2 was great.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So, do any final thoughts on Superman?
I have a question for
Yeah.
Ryan.
Oh, is it about the scene when they negotiate their weapons?
No,
Sorry.
I have a question for Ryan. What did Leanne think?
Oh, she loved it.
Because
Love Superman?
So.
Yeah.
Just curious.
I'm actually wait. What did Nadia think, Charlie?
Yeah.
I forgot
You're
because
like,
I wish I got Lena's opinion too, because I don't think I actually got it in the end. But what did Nadia think?
Nadia liked it, but she also agreed with me that Lex, since the original Christopher Reeve, she did like Gene Hackman, but she's never liked a movie Lex Luthor since then.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Now,
Like, she really hated Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
well, that's not even Lex to me. That's not even
Yeah.
Lex. And
And-
I still say to this day, like, you know, take the personal problems away from what's his name? Spacey. Stacy.
Kevin-
What's his name?
Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
If he's just done his own version of Lex and not the Gene Hackman one, I think he would have been the best Lex.
Movie Lex.
But that's the story.
Movie
though.
Lex. Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about story. I'm just talking about if he did his own version of Lex, I think we would have gotten the best Lex we wouldn't gotten. But
Well, I mean, all my issues with this version of Lex is story. It's if he had delivered roughly the same Lex, but had a little more levels covered in his plans, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
In terms of like his Lex was fine for me.
yeah,
It's all in the writing.
Yeah.
Like it
Well-
all falls on Gunn in this case.
I feel
Like he should have written a Lex that doesn't just lose.
I also feel like Lex could have had a little bit more commanding voice too, though. Like I felt Holt's voice was a little high pitch, and like I kind of lost it in times with all the other background stuff going on.
this is very nitpicky. I thought Holt was a little young to be Lex, but they could play. I mean, this is actually my nitpick on Superman too. Like, you know, he didn't come off as this commanding like leader, right? And it's and you could say that, you know, this is young Superman, he's learning still, and I kind of look at Lex the same thing. There's this like a younger Lex because we're gonna get this for the next 20 years, hopefully. So maybe we get all of that stuff later. But yeah, that was kind of two of my nitpicks on both of them.
we
Came off a little young.
Smallville Lex was, what was his name again?
Rosenberg.
Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum.
Bomb, sorry.
Huh?
Bomb, yeah.
He was actually the voice of one of the Raptor guys.
Yes.
I was like, ooh,
Well,
I like it.
Chris, Christopher Reeve's son was in one of the TV scenes.
Yeah.
There's a few nods and cameos in there that were nice.
No, I liked that those little things that they added in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was say, like, I'm as much as everybody hates him, and I'm not disagreeing, but I think Jesse Eisenberg's Luther was much creepier, more unhinged than Nicholas Hoult. Like, I'm not saying that he's a story wise. I'm just saying, like, his performance was more unhinged, so you can kind of get that more crazy Lex than you did out of Holt, which I understand, story, director, whatever, blah blah blah. But
yeah, see, to me, Lex is always more calculated than crazy.
Fair enough.
To me, like that's always how I always saw Lex. I hate to go back to the cartoon, the Bruce Timm cartoon, but I feel like they picked and chose the best versions of each character. Like I love that Lex from that show.
That was a really good one.
They did it like the best way possible, and I hate that, you know. And yeah, it's an almanac of all the different Lexes that came before, but I feel like that Lex is the Lex to me, and that cartoon got so many things just perfect.
Well, Lex has so much man behind the curtain stuff, right? Like,
and as I said, like I think the only reason we don't get that is because of that need for the villain has to go to jail, and I think if you let go of that, they could deliver the Lex I want, but you have to let go of that.
Yeah.
Well, and they also killed off the leader of the other place because Hot Girl just dropped him. So
yeah.
So you know,
the old the leader of that country.
Yeah, Bravia.
Oh yeah.
She just dropped him.
Yeah, which was a little shocking considering, but I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially leading into like authority and stuff like that.
So, how many people have you guys fought when Lex first opened that door? It was a boom tube. Or none of you guys fought that.
Yeah, I thought
it was more of a nod and a hint toward authority.
I mean, I'm a guy. Cards on the table. I haven't read the authority, so put it out there for me, please.
The spaceship from the authority creates doors, so they create portals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's portals, like a transportation thing, not necessarily a pocket dimension.
To me, authority is just not DC. Like to me, I never imagined that stuff with the DC world. So to me, I mean, like I'm not sure I comprehend that stuff together yet.
Yeah.
Even though it's coming together now, but I don't comprehend that way. Yeah.
And along those lines, also one other nitpick is, you know, I know Kevin hated the whole clone thing, but I feel like it would have been better to have it not just be a clone, but an alternate version of Superman, because then you're also leaning into the pocket universe idea more.
Yeah. Well, I know Ryan told me to shut up earlier. And even though, yes, it's you told me to shut up.
Oh,
you told me to
shut up. That's because he was trying to. It wasn't you. He was trying to get a different.
Yeah, he told me to shut up. So I'm gonna make my point now. As a Connor Kent fan, I wish the line was in there, and I wish he was slightly younger. That but then the fucking door of solitude wouldn't have opened. But I wish he would I could never get him right. Therefore, I threw some of my own DNA in there. I'll be like, fuck it, it's Connor. But it didn't happen.
That could still happen.
So.
Well, I assume him going into the black hole, he'll pop out on Bizarro World or something like that. Yeah. So he'll become the real Bizarro.
People are pointing out the river that goes into the portal world, all these little squares to kind of hint at that.
Yeah. That was the whole all those
He's in the underverse,
that river, right? It was all the squares.
It would have been funny. It would have been funny if, because that Superman never had any lines. It would have been funny if he just had one word or something and it was backwards.
Yeah, that would have been
cool. I actually not even call him Bizarro, nothing. Like just have him say one word that was backwards.
Sorry, not backwards. Negative. What it does.
Yeah, that would have been bloody awesome. That would have been.
I thought there was about a 5% chance it was Henry Cavill under the mask when it came off.
People's wishes. Yeah, I'm glad it's not. To me, leave Cavill in my own happy place.
Yeah.
And no, let's not taint him that way.
Like another popular theory, like especially for the Wildstormers, was that they were hoping it was Apollo. Mm-hmm. Because Apollo pretty much is Superman too. So it would make sense because engineers there.
I mean, he looks like Midnighter, which is funny.
Yeah, I will say I did really like the way they utilized the brains versus brawn by having Lex call out every move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was actually a really good way to do that,
Yeah.
using Lex's intelligence to win.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought that was
Now that I think about it, I think it might have like what Charlie was saying. It probably would have been better if, like, I know you want Lex to go to jail, but it probably would have been made more sense if he had found a way to make someone else go to jail for him.
Yeah, that's my point. That's
Yeah.
my point earlier. Like
if it all been put all the blame on the President Baravia instead.
that would have been more Lex-like.
Yeah.
Or the President of the United States in jail.
Sure.
That would have been very Lex-like.
Yeah. As I said, I would have loved a scene at the end or whatnot where Superman just makes it clear he's keeping an eye on him, kind of thing, just because that is quintessential to that relationship in a lot of ways. It's Lex always has the plan within the plan within the plan that keeps him insulated.
Yeah. I have my biggest nitpick of the entire movie to say. And that is that we never got the iconic shirt open Superman scene. I'm dead serious. I think that's iconic Superman.
Well, that goes in line with what I was saying about how like Clark Kent is not really in this movie.
Yeah. But yeah. That iconic scene of him opening up his shirt and becoming switching over to Superman. I kept hoping the entire movie. I kept hoping for that scene.
Well, they teased it with him going through that the spinner doors at the Daily Planet, right? Because that's another one where he goes around the spin dial to go in and out of the planet. We've seen him do that in comic books and stuff.
Yeah.
And
but
no phone booth.
There's no phone booth in the movie.
That's iconic. That's like iconic Superman. Like that I thoroughly missed in this movie.
I could maybe save that for the sequel, because the sequel, I'm assuming the sequel will probably focus more along just Superman instead of having to, because they wouldn't have to world build as much for the sequel.
I think that should be in every fucking Superman movie there is.
But that's like turns into the Pearls then.
But I think this movie was trying to establish something new. Like, we got that shot with Crypto and him on the moon. That was just kind of a nice.
That was nice.
Like
right. Is this the first time we get to see Crypto in anything live action?
No,
Crypto was in Titans.
But wasn't he also in Smallville too?
Oh, that's right.
And Smallville.
He was in Smallville?
Yeah. He just called the dog Crypto. It wasn't actually Crypto though.
Yeah.
I forgot the Titans one. Was it the first time in Titans?
Probably the first real live action Crypto.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the first real movie Crypto ever.
Yeah, I mean they had the animated movie a little while ago, but movie,
theatrical movie. This is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the first. That's cool.
Yeah, he was great.
I'm very, very excited about the Supergirl movie now, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
that
scene was tastefully done. It was just perfect, and I'm really glad I wasn't spoiled on it. It took me by complete surprise. I'm like, oh shit, they went there. I'm actually very excited for that movie now, and very much looking forward.
My daughters and my niece were super excited. After seeing that brief moment of Supergirl, they're like, "There's a Supergirl movie." I'm like, "Yes," and they're like, "Yes." So,
and it'll be rated R.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, unless they really let Lobo loose.
All euphoria on Supergirl, full on drugs and all the other stuff that goes with it.
Best just not a swear. So
she did call Superman a bitch.
Yeah. That's what all kids are saying these days. So.
Well, I'm just glad they're not saying skibbity toilet and all that shit during this movie. So,
it's skinny toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's a skibbity.
Do you have the Ohio Riz?
What the fuck is an Ohio Riz?
Even just
don't. You can look it up.
And on that note, the wonderful podcast. Thank you, everyone.
We're going back to more K-pop Demon Hunters. No, I'm kidding.
Nothing.
Especially thank you to Edward at GeekyVillain.com, Joe Duff, Kelsey May, Craig Anderson at the Executive Evolution Podcast, and Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast and DDT Wrestling Podcast.
You're saying all of that in one breath now.
Check out comicspiracypodcast.com for all our previous episodes.
That's okay, because we have beaten the time of the movie, so we're good.
Patreon.com/comicspiracy to kick us a couple bucks if you like our
you keep ignoring me. It's okay.
Comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can buy some awesome Superman comics if you like the movie. Lots of great comics to buy there. And Brock's website.
I have a shout out too.
Check out his stuff there.
I have a shout out too. Over on Sunday, on Sunday we had a listener on the podcast come in and say hi. They were on vacation and they specifically came down to see the store and say hi to hopefully one of us. They saw me, the best one. But hey, so shout out to Adrian from Arizona.
Adrian, shout him out.
Yay.
He bought a copy of Meanwhile.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Fantastic. Check out the Wonders in the Fourth Dimension podcast. Shirley's Doctor Who podcast. Ooh, lots of Who news recently. Lots of bad Who news.
Wait, what Who news? No.
Just vibes are bad on the Who, man.
What are you talking about?
Shooty's out. The show's getting canceled. Dropped from Disney Plus.
They're
gonna take it off of BBC. BBC doesn't want to pay for it anymore. It's chaos. It's chaos, man.
Are you serious?
Follow the Who. Follow the Who news. Wonders of the Fourth Dimension podcast. It's over.
It's never over for the Who.
Oh, out of here.
Kevin's interview series Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com and a page I love at Comic Art Live on YouTube. And my wife, Leanne, her website's at leannehill.com. You can see her artwork. Oh, she's working on a crypto piece. So
nice.
Get that out at the store. And if you're on Blue Sky, I'm on there as Ryan Higgins. Brock is Brock Sager. Toby's Toby XI. He never posts. Kevin is at Kevin Sharp. Charlie, you never joined Blue Sky, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so. And Geekbox. What the hell did we talk about last week? I don't know. I don't remember. Nerd stuff. A lot of Switch 2 talk recently. Toby was on recently talking about his Switch 2 experience.
Oh, yeah.
And the Nintendo Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-retro gaming convention. I might do another one.
Yeah.
I might do the Portland one.
Portland game. The hell's it called?
I don't know.
I think Portland Retro Gaming Con. I don't know.
It's like Retro Gaming Expo. I think it is.
You know what I'm trying to do with that trip? You remember a movie called Short Circuit?
Of course.
Stephanie's home is on Airbnb.
Yeah, it is. It is on Airbnb.
Did we have this discussion already?
I am trying to go there and spend a few days in the story, which has been on my to-do list or my wish list for years, because I want to go see the Goonies house. I want to walk through the fucking beach. I'm going to walk through the war game shit. I'm going to walk through the fire. I want to stay at Stephanie's home. I want to sit at that porch and look at the sunset. It's going to be awesome. And if Short Circuit is going to come out and greet me, that'd be even better.
Johnny 5.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Thank you all very much for your continued support of the Comic Conspiracy Podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you post Comic-Con, post Fantastic Four. What an episode that's going to be.
Oh,
what's the runtime for FF?
We'll see you then. Goodbye.